Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Dealing with the Mikadono Sisters is a Breeds episode number 7 reaction. Alright, the previous episode we got to see more of Kazuki's date where she invited you to go on a date with him because obviously she needs to practice for her the female role that she's going to play. And it went not that well as she envisioned it was going to be. She always ended up taking control and everything. But in the end, she kind of got a little bit depressed because after she saw one of the movies, which had one of her senpais who was in a similar situation to her, who made played like male roles. That movie, after seeing it, she realized that it's not as good and the reception is not that good. So she was thinking like, oh, this is the same thing is going to happen to me and all that. But in the end, you took her to the Ferris wheel and kind of told her that even if people don't like it, just keep going. You will definitely like make a fan base which will there be truly for you. you know like who will be there to watch your performance even if you make mistakes and everything. Stuff like that. And yeah, in the end, she decided to do it her own way, not just act out or try to act out a role. She's going to like tackle this whole thing in her own way. So she got closure to her whole thing. So hopefully everything goes well from here onwards with her female roles. So let's see what happens in today's episode. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Damn. Right. Well, they have a topic for conversation. Oh yeah, they're the same grade as well. True. What the hell? Yeah. Oh, but yeah. Damn. Okay. Well. Yeah. Damn. Oh, bleeding. Yep. Mm. Yeah. You just got up and left. Oh, got it. Damn. Oh yeah, this is that guy. The senpai. Iwa Yamahai. Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. Well, I do remember this section a little bit. Right, so it's still not really that clear in my head. I've forgotten most of the stuff. I've completely forgotten Miwa's part. Like, I know like Miwa will also have a mini arc after this, but I've completely forgotten what that was about. Kazuki, I kind of remembered. Nico, I remember quite well, I think. The true reason is, what's up with that guy on the left? What's with his eyes? Wait. you, you're not even wearing the uniform. Oh my god. Yep, you saw him. I wish we could say. Oh. Yeah. Dorks on our team. Oh boy. Nope. Found him to the mat. Oh damn. Yeah. Also, he's so damn tall. Well, obviously his hand is this big. It's so damn tall. His reach is so. Yeah, I thought I was. Well, yeah. Well, he's talking about. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, okay. I forgot about this part. Right. I never liked this guy because this guy has such an attitude. Well, but the problem is, like, right. All right, here we go. The bigger problem will come after this, which is, yep, this is the problem. Because obviously, this will defeat the whole purpose of use. Yeah, use whole purpose of coming here. This is just. What the? Yeah, you will get some. Mm. Wow. Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. There we go. Yep, here we go. Yeah, this guy's absolutely aggravating. I remember him in the manga. Okay, here we go. Well, because she has a life now, except this. You see, this is absolutely aggravating type of character. Oh my god. Hey yo, what your head? Damn. Well, size difference. Nah, man. No, no, no. He doesn't have any special ability or anything. Yeah, yeah. About that. All right, he's going to. Well said. Well, let's fight. All right. Last day of joint practice. Yeah. Okay. Well, but it might throw him off. Yeah. Yeah. Damn. Mm. What? Oh. Well, it's the same as him. He wants, you know. Oh my god. Yeah. No, there you go. Hmm. Is that it? Or is there something? Oh, oh, this is something. 5 days. Wait, what? Oh, oh yeah, I remember this now. Okay. Doesn't know that you is a failure. Alright, that's it, I think. Yeah. Okay, there you go. That was today's episode. So there you go. That is Nico's mini arc, I guess you can say. And yeah, so basically, this guy who's a prodigy, he has come back from overseas, I think, yeah, and he's hell bent on recruiting Nico, and like all that stuff. Now everything would have been fine if not for his freaking personality. It's just so, what can I say? It's so aggravating. Like these all these people loves putting their nose in other people's business. like you know like I can understand their dad, like the Mikadono sisters dad putting his nose in their business because obviously they're his daughters. But this freaking guy, it comes out of nowhere and starts like saying that, oh no, this is like if this was just like, okay, you want to come with us, want to want to be in our school with the train with our guys and everything. um and Nico was like, no, I don't want to, and he would be like, all right, fine, whatever, that's it. If that was it, it would have been completely fine. Obviously, you're asking her like a question. If she gives permission, she's like, yes, like, I want to go there, then it's fine. When she said no, the conversation should have ended there. But obviously he had to be, like I said, if this was her father, like, I could kind of understand, because obviously, this is his parent. But a freaking person out of nowhere, the way he's just being like, oh no, like, I want the best for you, you have to do this. Like, bro, who are you? Like, you might have been someone who participated in, like, in sparring with Nico, and Nico might, idolizes you, but that doesn't give you the right to tell her, even when she's telling you that, no, I don't want to go, to tell her that, no, I know what is better for you, you will come with me. So what was the freaking point of the choice that you gave her? You gave her a choice, right? Want to come with me? What was the point of that? And this is like, this arrogance is something I absolutely hate in, like, in anywhere, like, be it anime, be it whatever. It's this self-entitlement arrogance is just so jarring. Like, a lot of characters in animes you see has this type of an attitude, and it absolutely jars me, you know so yeah, and that's the biggest problem, obviously, here, that he's like, oh no, I know what is better for you, you will come with me. Like, yeah, you might be actually correct, that, like, going with you is going to help her out in the long run and everything, but she's telling she doesn't want to go. She must have a reason for it. She took her own decision. Why the hell are you poking your nose into that and saying like, oh no, it doesn't matter what your opinion is, I know this is good for you, so you will have to. What is she? Is she your daughter? Like, what's going on? That you're being this like overbearing. It's just yeah, like, But anyways, you has challenged him, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows how this is going to end. But it'll be interesting to see the whole match and how this whole thing plays out. You know. So yeah, like, I do not remember exactly how the match ends, but obviously it's pretty obvious. Like, you won't really be able to do anything, but I think something happens. I cannot properly pinpoint. I've forgotten this part, at least how the match actually ends. I've forgotten. Like, so yeah, let's just wait. Next episode we'll see. Right. But anyways, today's episode was basically him coming, and then him being like, oh, you have to come with me, and Nico is like, but I don't want to. And when she says that, all her club members and everyone, they were also like, yeah, we also don't want you to go, because obviously it's a boarding school. Not only that, like, she obviously she'll have to leave this place, right? Just leave this school. She won't be able to train them, all that stuff. So all the club members were like, oh, we also don't want you to go. And same with her sisters as well. They were also like giving her stuff, because they didn't want her to go. And in the end, Nico was like, I do wonder what you thinks about this. Because like, I got to know what everyone else thinks about it. I still haven't got to know what you thinks about it. But she got her answer pretty quickly, because immediately the next day, he was just there in the locker waiting. And as soon as he realized that things are not going well, he comes out and he's like, oh, I don't want her to go. Here you go, challenge letter. It's funny that he actually wrote inside the challenge letter that extra note where, oh, you cannot use your dominant hand and dominant foot, or something like that, he said. So he knew he was going to accept it without reading it, because obviously, like, who the hell is this twerp in front of me? I'm like, in no way am I losing this. That is his attitude, obviously. So he's going to be like, sure, whatever. So that's why he he played a trick. He knew he was not going to read it, so he added all those extra information, extra clauses to be like, all right, now that he's accepted it, he cannot disregard it anymore. That's set in stone. So he has to maintain the rule, which is obviously he cannot use his dominant hand. So there you go. Now, anyways, yeah, so that's what's happening now. Currently Yu is training. There's 5 more days left. But like obviously he cannot really do anything in these 5 days. Like this guy is been doing like karate from a very get-go when he was a kid. Not only that, he's like 3 times winner or something, as they mentioned. So in 5 days, no amount of prodigy or whatever would be able to gain the same amount of experience and power that he has been gaining for these like last all of these years that he has been practicing. you know like in no way you can be an absolute genius, still you cannot learn like tens on and 10 to 12 years of experience in 5 days. That is not possible. This is this is like some next level some next level plot armor if he's actually able to do something about this. So obviously that's not going to happen. Even shonen anime probably won't dare to pull a move like this. Like, oh, in 5 days he's absolutely perfect. Even a shonen anime won't pull this. So we all know how this is going to go, But what I'm forgetting is exactly how it concludes. So let's wait and see. Anyways, yeah. So that's what happened, and now he's training for the match, and yeah, he has to do something. Let's wait and see. Okay, now a few things to talk about in today's episode. First and foremost, we obviously had the pickpocket incident that happened at the beginning of today's episode, and you can see like everyone was like talking with the girl who's first was pickpocketed, but you was the one who noticed that Nico's hand is bleeding, and because you can see like Nico was like looking at the girl and thinking that, oh, like what the hell, like nobody's coming to me and asking me how I am. And this is something I feel like which we have seen in Nico from the very beginning, which is her like, even if she's like this strong martial artist and everything, he wants people to treat her normally, like how they would treat a normal people. Obviously, if this was someone else, they would be like, oh, are you hurt, this and that. But for her, because she's Mikadono Nico, everyone automatically assumes that, oh yeah, she's fine, she's perfect, she's okay, no problem. So she doesn't want that. She wants a normal, how people normally would treat her, like all the other people. So that's her thing. But obviously she doesn't really say anything about this, because in her head she's like, oh no, I have to be strong, this and that, all that stuff. So you can see you was the one who kind of noticed that, and you was like, oh, it doesn't matter, even if you're Mikadono Nico, what hurts. Obviously, like, she got scratched, she's not going to feel less pain because she's Mikadono Nico. She's probably used to that pain, she's probably used to tolerating that pain. That might be higher up to her because she has been practicing martial arts and everything. But the pain is pain. The amount of pain that she will feel, another person would feel the same pain. So yeah, so that's what happened. And then this freaking pickpocketer tried to run away, and this is where we meet this guy Hayato, or whatever the hell his name was. Right. And we get to know how he was this person who helped out Nico when when she was in the dojo and all that. And he's like, oh, come with me, because obviously this place doesn't have enough strong people. Now obviously, like I said, everything would have been fine if he was like, oh, come with me, this place doesn't have enough strong people. Like, and obviously he's a pretty arrogant, but it would have been fine completely if later on, when Nico was like, oh no, I don't want to go, like, I understand that you might have strong people over there, but I don't want to go. And if he was like, all right, fine, if that was the case, then it would have been completely fine. Yeah, he would have been a little bit arrogant individual, but still, he respected, like what he asked. Like, he asked her to take a decision. She took a decision, and he respected it. But obviously, that's not how it goes, and that's what the aggravating part, as you can see, because we have to remember, Nico herself struggles a lot with taking her own decisions. Like, not only Nico, all the three girls, because of their father, because of their dad, because of the fact that their dad, always says like, oh, you have to be the best, you have to do this, mediocrity cannot be tolerated in our home, like, you have to be number one, this and that, all because of all of that. Like, these three, they, in their head, they're always like, oh, we have to be number one, we have to be this, we have to take out our mediocre part and take out our normal part and be like the best and everything. And that is the main reason for these problems. That is why Yu is here, and Yu is trying his best to make them into a normal family. Like, they are a family where they come back like where they come back home at night, different times, go to sleep, gets up, gets out of the house, do their own thing, comes back again. It's a freaking hotel for them up until now. It was a freaking hotel for them. They never met each other. They did their own thing. Father also doesn't come. And yeah, and down the line, Yu knows that even if this makes them like the best in their fields, it wouldn't matter at the end of the day, because a time will come when they will regret each and everything, regret the time that they have lost, the time that they could have used to, like, act as a proper family. His mother regretted it. He knows it. He knows that pain firsthand. He knows the pain of him also not, like, interacting with his mother like normally, and it being too late for him by the time, because her mother passed away. It would be too late by that time. He has experienced that firsthand, and he knows. And that's why he's trying his best to make these girls into a proper family, because they are siblings. And they, like, and because of this whole nonsense of, like, you have to be the best and everything, they already were this type of like robotic, like, oh yeah, come home, do the minimum amount of thing, go to a respective things, like martial arts, theater, shogi, do our best over there, come back, eat, go to sleep. No one talks to anyone. It just goes like that, just focusing on that. And always in their head, they're thinking, oh, what can I do to become best? They never think about anything normal, like, oh, like, take a little bit of break, like, and all of those things. Maybe hang out with my family. None of that they think. So that thought process in itself has been ingrained in them so much from a very young age that it is difficult for these three girls to actually take a decision which would be like, all right, let's do something together, because they're not used to thinking like that. And Yu is trying his best to make them like that so much, like, now they're like interacting with each other, they're interacting as family and everything. They're not always thinking of being the best and everything, and it's working. And this freaking guy comes out of nowhere, and he puts Nico on that spot again. He acts like her father, and he's like, oh no, I know what is best for you. After all of that, after so much effort into making sure that Nico's comfortable with her, this freaking guy comes out of nowhere and he pulls this nonsense. Can you imagine how annoying that is? Like, that's the thing here. Like, if this was like some other show, it probably wouldn't have been this much aggravating. But it's aggravating to think that after all of this, after all of the things that you went through, you saw like the whole, like, where he did so much. He came here, he did so much for them. He even that whole thing where they went to the, like, took the picture. You tried his best to get the Koma Inu to win that whole thing. All of that, like, they did, and like, finally now like a situation has come where they are kind of like a family, and and this guy comes in and he throws water into all of that, because as soon as he said that oh, you have to be the best, you cannot, like, why are you staying here, this won't make you, immediately, like, not only Nico, if this was one of the other girls, the same would have worked on them as well. Immediately their brain is wired in such a way, they're like, oh yeah, true, like, I have to be the best, and if this going here is going to make me the best, then I'll have to do it. It's not only Nico, if this was Miwa or Kazuki in the same position, they would have reacted the same way as well, because that's how their brain is wired. And after all of this effort to make them more comfortable with each other and being a family, this jackass comes and does this nonsense. You know, he deserves a smack in the face, in my opinion. Like, yeah, you might want the best for Nico, but all of this, like, things that are going on, like all of the effort and everything to making them like more comfortable with each other and everything, you just come and just destroy it. So yeah, like his attitude is so aggravating, and this is exactly the reason why I absolutely hate this aggravating attitude. Like I said, if this was in some other situation, I feel like it would have been fine. But the problem here is that these three, from the very get go, are in such a, their mindset is like wired in such a way that they do not know how to be like a normal family. And you tried his best, is trying his best so much to make them appreciate like a normal family and everything, and this guy comes in and just completely destroys it. Just completely destroys it, or was in the process of destroying it. Like, if you wasn't there in that locker, things would have gone in a very bad direction. So it was a good thing that he came out at the appropriate moment and completely stopped that nonsense, because he would have said those nonsense. As you can see, you see what he was saying here. When Nico said that, no, I don't want to do this, what did he say? Here we go. Okay, this part. You won't prioritize your talent. I thought you were more than just a normal girl. Here you go. Here you go. This is what he's pulling. This is what he's pulling. And and here we go. This is exactly what in Nico's head, immediately that triggers that whole thing, like, oh yeah, I have to be the best. So, like all these things, like all this process of like, trying to be like a normal family, everything would have just gone out the window immediately if you wasn't here. If this conversation continued from here, things would have become very bad. So it was a good thing that you was there, and immediately he came out and he stopped him and he was like, yeah, I challenge you. There you go. And he brought a complete stop to this whole process. And so yeah, so that's what happened. Anyways, after that they practice, and like, you was not really, like, he cannot really do anything. So Nico was like, all right, let me show you and everything. He also she also mentioned how when 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 you was like, okay, tell me what you think about this, what is your opinion on this, and did the whole kabedon, she said, she was like, yeah, I also want to stay here. I like, everyone is, I'm happy to hear, when you say itterashai, and all that. I like hearing that. I also like the fact that I am interacting more with my sisters and all that, yeah, and her sisters were outside listening. Right. Anyways, in the end, we get to see that you pull a trick. In the challenge letter, he has written that, oh, like, you cannot use your dominant hand and leg, I think. Forbidden from using dominant hand or foot. Yep. Yep. And he has already accepted it, so yeah, he has to maintain that rule. Right. Yeah, and that's where it ended. Good episode. And yeah, so there you go. Like, I if you guys remember, in the episode where they kind of showed this a little bit of this whole thing where Nico got the phone and everything. I mentioned how, like, her mini arc is something that I do not really like. This is the reason why. This freaking guy. Like, like I said, it is just so aggravating to see like a process where you is trying his best to make them more comfortable with each other, making them actually have an opinion of themselves. Up until now, in their head, they're always like, we have to be the best, have to be the best. Nobody asked them about their opinion. What do you want to do? Like, is this how you want to do this? None of those questions. So they have been brought up in such a way that that is something they don't even think about. They don't have any individuality in that sense. And in the long run, this is going to be a very big issue, because they automatically think like, oh, what is, this is the best, I have to do this. Anything other than that, they do not think about. So you was making them more comfortable in actually taking decisions for themselves, you know and all of that. And it was a gradual process, obviously it was happening. And this guy comes in and he pulls that nonsense over there, which would have completely destroyed that process, and Nico would have probably just reverted back into that previous Nico, and it would have been a mess. So yeah, that's what annoys me. Like, this whole, like, stunt that this guy pulled over here, without even knowing how much it would affect Nico, because she's finally taking a decision for herself, and you're like, no, you cannot do that. You have to come with me, otherwise you won't get, like, and all those things that he was saying. So yeah, anyways, that is it. Let's wait for the next episode, let's see how this goes. And right, and that is it. That was my reaction to episode number 7 of Dealing with the Mikadono Sisters is a Breeze. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.